Hey everyone, my name is Alex Smith. I'm co-owner of the One Gym, and today we have Bill Patterson with us today. Bill and I have been working together for about 3.5 years, and Bill has gone through chemotherapy and now finished chemotherapy to treat melanoma.
Yeah, melanoma.
Melanoma. And while he was going through his treatments, he decided to really dial in on his nutrition and fitness, and he was able to build muscle and lose body fat while going through chemotherapy. Now, we have some questions for Bill to kind of get a little bit more insight to who this man is and his mindset and his tenacity. And hopefully he'll give us some insight to better ourselves in the process. Now, Bill, when did you decide to take your health serious?
I guess in my early 30s, when I first arrived in this country, I was diagnosed with hypertension. And so I decided to take up running. And I ran road races for actually up to for 40 years or so. And then my knees started talking to me, and so I gave up running and moved to the gym. I'd already moved to the gym before that, but decided I had to go another way, and a more complete way than just running.
Yeah, good. What are some of the biggest lies you've heard about aging and developing strength and improving fitness?
It's interesting because, I'm 87, I'll be 88 in 2 months, and I've always regarded age as a number. I know that's a cliche, but I think it's truly, true. I was doing things maybe 10 years ago, which I find more difficult to do now, so I move the goalposts every year or so. I don't try and do as much as I did 10 or 20 years ago, but still do most of the same things. And actually you, Alex, you've brought me back to another level that I was not at, because you're watching very carefully, and your system of checking the speed of bench presses and so forth is really outstanding. So I feel I'm in a better place than I was when I started here.
Good. What would you say to people that have the belief that it's impossible to improve as they age and stuff like that?
Yeah, I would say no matter what their condition is and what the issues are. I mean, I've injured myself time after time, and you just get yourself back, and it's baby steps. Anyone that asks me if you want to get into exercising, what do you do? It's baby steps. Don't try and I put my back out 3 times, and I was fortunate in finding a surgeon who said, why don't you try exercise and try doing this? And I could only ride on my stomach. After a while I could only raise myself 1 inch, and then a week later it was 2 inches, and then it was 3 inches. So baby steps. And that's really the way I look at it.
Okay. What is the self-talk that you have to get you through days where you don't feel like working or want to skip a workout and so forth?
Yeah, that's really easy, because there are all kinds of things that are priorities maybe, or that you'd like to do. But when you have a trainer, and I can talk a long time about the value of having a trainer, but when you have a trainer, anyone I think doesn't want to disappoint. And so when I turn up on a Tuesday for you, I want to make sure that I'm in the best shape that I can be, and that we can make progress each week. And so that's what I would say to people. Just think about what you'll be doing tomorrow and the day after and next week, and if you have issues, just dial back a bit, and but just keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. I like that. What is something you can say to the younger generation about health, discipline, and aging overall?
Yeah, don't wait until you're old to discover that you're not as fit as you should be. If you start exercising when you're young, in your 20s, your 30s, and just keep doing it, that's really the time to get into a life plan of exercise and keeping yourself healthy. So I would say, don't wait. Start as early as you think you can, no matter where you are or what the environment is. Just start working out in some way, shape or form. Yoga, running, anything will do, so long as it's exercise. And walking is the most easy exercise, and generally you won't injure yourself walking. So I recommend to people, start walking if you can't do anything else.
That's a lot of good advice. And I do highly recommend walking for everybody, most individuals.
Yeah.
Some questions that are going to be directed to for me to talk about you. All right. What makes Bill different from other clients? Well, I personally can say from working with you 3.5 years, your attention to detail on a lot of different aspects, like you don't take anything for granted. You keep track of your weight, you keep track of your nutrition, you keep track of like, this is how much I've hiked. And you factor all these into how is this helping me? Am I on track or am I off track toward my goals? You're very disciplined, you're very consistent for the most part, and that's why you've been successful and very successful with your health and your fitness endeavors. I also love that you keep a notebook with you. I think just keeping a notebook is a lot better than just relying on your own memory, because there's just too many life factors that may make you forget things or be unable to keep track of certain outcomes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I found keeping a journal, and I've kept one for I guess since I started running. When I was running, I'd use the Gym Fix calendar diary and noted down all my times. But I would recommend to anyone, make a note of what your exercises are and what your fitness level is. The other thing that I find helpful with noting everything down is when you injure yourself, that you write down, how did I fix this? How long did it take to fix it? So basically everything connected with exercise, and if I have any issues, I write them down and I can go back and check a year ago, as you can with your system, where we were at fitness-wise.
All right. One last question is, how would you describe the training sessions in a one word or phrase?
It's something I look forward to, and as I've told you on a number of occasions, if I feel tired when I come, I always feel better when I've finished. And you listen to what I tell you. If I say I've got an injury here or some problem somewhere, number one, you try and fix it right then, or you counsel me how over time I could fix it. So that's a very useful. And I can say the difference between having a trainer and not having a trainer is paramount. You can do things on your own, but the main reason, there are three reasons. One is regular working out if you have a trainer, and you need to be ready for your trainer when you see him. And second is just motivation. And the third is form. I see people at the other gym that we go to, and they don't know how to use the machines, and very often I don't know how to use some of the machines when they're new. If you have a trainer, and you're particularly good at this, you watch what I'm doing and how I'm doing it very, very closely, and you just make slight adjustments. So I find that really beneficial.
I believe that's all the questions we have for today. I just want to thank you for giving us some time to talk about you, Bill the legend.
No, just Bill.
Just Bill. Okay, I'll take you there.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything you're doing to help me.
I appreciate it.